We got Isles of the Emberdark. Read. Done. It's in our brains. We finished it. Go us. Coda's got it up too. Wow.
Very
Peep
pretty
the
cover.
new iPad I got for my birthday. Very exciting.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. It's coming up. We got 5 days now. But yeah, got it early for my birthday. Very excited. I'm not going to keep it up so it doesn't fall because the case hasn't arrived yet. That would be big tragic.
That's
But anyway.
physical book behavior. This is a Kindle edition.
Right. Isles of the Emberdark, people. Brandon Sanderson's new cheese he left out for us mice. Very exciting.
The good.
We're gonna first, before I put away the iPad, we'll look at the cover real quick, and it's not in its all of its glory because you can barely see this crap. But I really like it a lot. I like
too.
The font works really well with the art style, and the fact that you have and this is spoiler territory already, the dark Wara surrounding his bird. Dagwara? Can't remember the name. Yeah, the images in this one are crazy. It's really cool. I like it. The illustrations and such.
Yeah, I like it too. The artwork on the front is great. It's a lot. I think it's unique too. Like all of the Mistborn and Stormlight US versions kind of just look like their characters and like a setting from this book. But this was like a hook of a fantasy cover.
And you know what? I think, and I could be wrong, in the actual book, because mine hasn't gotten here yet, the pages when they're in like the Emberdark are black pages.
They're like inverse. I thought I saw that on TikTok. I thought I saw someone else post the book.
Yeah, because I didn't notice it on my phone. It didn't do that, but when I read it on my iPad, I was like, why is this way? And then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, all my pages on Kindle are always dark anyway, so I read everything in dark mode, so it's always dark.
Anyway,
cool cover.
So yeah, we finished. Cool cover.
It was exciting for Sanderson too.
It was different. It was different than his usual. The usual cheese. Different cheese. This was
sauce.
Pepper jack, baby.
This is bad quality, 50-year aged.
50-year age.
Out of the
Jack
depths,
probably would not be
the depths of the mind of Brandon Sanderson.
Slanderson.
Sandon Branderson.
Sandalandolin.
Well,
Mandolin.
Should we jump into it? Let's do it. Let's get into it. Yeah.
RSQ it to it.
This book was amazing. We'd probably just stop the video now. Game over. Good book. Stamp of approval.
This was one of those that, I mean, so you've read all the Cosmere. I read all of it last year except for Yumi, the Nightmare Painter, and White Sand. And
you haven't read Yumi yet?
No, I haven't had a chance to get to it.
Yumi is
I read all of the Cosmere last year, but that one.
Yumi is good cheese too.
Before December, before whatchamacallit came out.
Yumi is really good. You're missing out. The only person who's hurt here is you.
I do feel hurt by you and your bullying.
That's the
point. I have it right over there. I'll get to it. But I feel like this is one of those books that, like, it is a standalone, but like obviously it interacts with all of his other books. But it just felt so good. Like, it was its own story, but with everything woven in from our previous knowledge, it just felt like every time we got like a little nugget of information from something else, I'm like, everything feels important. The whole book feels important. And every time I saw a name, I'm like, it's you!
We'll definitely get into this as we talk about the different parts of the book, but I think Brandon really excels at writing contained short stories because he doesn't... I think he, like, when he does the big ones, he gets really into exploring the world and exploring, like, the emotions of each character. But when he does, like, a contained story, it just feels like every part of it's a banger. Banger, banger, banger.
Yeah, I think, like you said, him having, like, forced to condense something to one book just makes the whole thing peak. Like, he does so much better in the 500-page range. I love Stormlight. It's very entertaining, and I like all the world building and the lore, but I definitely could see what people say when they're like, why is all this crap here? I'm like, I get it. It doesn't need to be there, but if you're enjoying it, it's fun to have all the extra stuff.
Yeah, the secret projects all feel magical in a different way. They have a special kind of excitement and magic.
They all have a charm.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
they're
what
like
I was looking for.
Charm or a vibe to them. I don't know, but this one was great. Look, it was good. Let's start with the characters.
Let's do it.
the characters, we have a very good cast of characters, and I think most of them, if not all of them, like including the static side characters, were well
They were all important.
developed. They had. That's the thing with Brandon Sanderson is every character who's mentioned has a purpose. There's not some Joe Schmo in the corner. Everybody's got a purpose, and I felt like everybody who got some spotlight was flushed out.
Yeah,
Well,
it's impressive because I'm normally judgmental when people give us too many characters in a small window, but he didn't waste any screen time with characters, which I think is really important. There were no meaningless conversations. Whenever you're listening to two characters talk, you are learning more about those characters. It's pretty impressive.
or about the world or about somebody else. Like
Yeah.
every it matters. And I think it's such a good job. Like our main character, and this is one of those. So he came out with Six of the Dusk in Arcanum Unbound. That was in this book. He didn't have to read this prior, which I had thought going into this, so I read that prior. But he puts this in it and like spices it up, adds a little bit of zhuzh.
Yeah, it fit really well,
And
by the way. The way that it was in there as flashbacks was really cool.
yeah, it was well done, and he knew it. He
Brendan's the guy on Facebook Marketplace who's like, I know what I have, but he actually does know what he has. $1,000. I know what I have.
Deal.
Easy point.
Well, it was an easy point. I mean, if we want to talk about like their development and stuff like that, like Dusk going from I have to be like by myself and realizing, oh, I'm by myself because I'm afraid of change, and like accepting the change but not wanting to accept the change, like being a part of the change but not accepting it, to accepting the change to being the change.
Now you're talking themes.
I mean, that is a theme, but it's
No,
well
but it's a big
developed
part of
characters.
you're right.
It's all.
I'm just bullying you.
You can bully me. I'll just cry.
No, it was really good. It was really well done too because the flashbacks further drew his whole story together. The Six of Dusk original story further showed the linear growth of this character Dusk and how like when we first see him, he's like a jungle survivor and he knows the jungle is dying. This is it. Like we're gonna see the jungle die. And then he's like in this like middle ground of I have no purpose. I'm a warrior with no purpose. And then you see him grow to the like discovering his new purpose, helping his people progress into the future. Dusk's growth was fantastic. And then I mean watching Star grow and learn how to trust in her crew and learn how to trust in others and not feel like she has to do everything alone.
Yeah. I mean, even I wouldn't say so much Chrysalis, but Zeetzi accepting Chrysalis in their group, and
you had the either the one who controlled that, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Adatil. Her growth was like when we first meet her, she doesn't feel like she belongs. She's like,
Timmy Little Engineer.
I'm a waste of space. I want to go home. And at the end, she's like core member of the team. Knows that she has her place. Yeah.
Characters.
It's good.
Good.
It was good.
Originality and creativity. I mean, nothing about this was not unique.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. You want to start with the basics. We have birds that eat worms that give them powers. We have people that can go into a wormhole and there's just air that you can travel on if you rub paste on things and just float on it, and it takes you to a big god that you have to do a challenge with that will make it serve you, but only because you think that that god should do that, so it uses that as its form. And you have intergalactic politics that dragons are not a part of but are a huge part of the story. There's just so much going on in one little tiny story.
We give a lot of concession to people who have ideas that have already been done before, but with unique execution. We're like, everything's been done. But then Brandon Sanderson comes and does something like this, and I'm like, this is all new. This is all no idea where this is going to go. No previous experience with any of this type of world.
I think the only thing you can argue that isn't like new is you have like the whole change. Like you have someone from the old world living on an island brought into a new world scenario that's being taken over.
Yeah, specifically in an island situation too.
I guess, yeah. But I'm still giving it a point.
Me too.
For just everything about it is fresh. Yeah, none of it felt stale when I was reading it.
No, it
I
was
felt
all
very good about it.
very good.
Engaging storyline, another easy
It was
win.
pretty boring.
I hated it.
Didn't want to keep reading it.
Yeah. My only gripe, if I have to pick one, is that I read the Six of Dusk like right before this because I thought like I needed to beforehand because I didn't look anything up, and so I basically had to reread like the whole first part. There's more information there, but still, but the storyline is very interesting.
Yeah, I was immersed and enamored with all of it. The flashbacks were super interesting to me. It was really entertaining to get to know. It's really funny that that's how it was done because the last book we read, I was like, you could totally introduce your characters through flashbacks. Remember that?
You did say that.
The
Yeah.
last video we recorded, I was like, you could introduce your characters through flashbacks. You could start with them knowing each other and introduce them through flashbacks. And Brandon said, all right, hold my beer.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna write in.
Because that's how this was done. We start with all of the events already happening, and Brandon's introducing the characters through flashbacks, which was super cool.
I really don't even know what else to say. I'm trying to like come up with stuff like, oh, the storyline was engaging because of blah blah. I feel like we already talked about why the storyline.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
engaging.
I read it quick. I couldn't stop reading it.
Yeah, you read it much faster than I was. I wanted to keep reading, but I kept getting pulled away for like life stuff. I'm like, give me more book.
We got sick, so it's like I'll do nothing but read this book today.
I'll just read this in between throwing up. No big deal.
Yeah. What's the problem? But
yeah.
Wow, Dusk traveled the Emberdark. But
yeah. Him finding out that that's the way that they travel in Emberdark too, as well as, and this is kind of like the ending, them becoming like navigators. So now they themselves are invested, and only trappers can become invested when I guess they have to be like they have to go through trials by Pati or whatever his name is. I don't know exactly how that kind of plays out.
It's really interesting. I think that's what I was just thinking when you started to say that. I wonder what it's going to mean for like the Cosmere later on, because on one hand, it was like it was, oh, you know what it was? I remember it says it in the book. I was like, could other people get this? No. So it specifically those that were on the islands because they were near the perpendicularity.
Yeah.
It's because growing up living near that changes you, and also twofold, they learned how to wayfind around the islands, and they had that skill when they could feel kinetic investiture in the Emberdark.
I remember too that I can't remember if it was Starling or whoever said that like he was like super invested, like he had like a ton of investiture, like he was super powerful. So I was surprised like he had so much investiture in him, but like compared to like someone with like Stormlight, where they're like just sucking a bunch of
Yeah, I think it was
Stormlight.
when he was eating the paste,
Maybe
when he was like challenging
yeah
the big worm boy.
Dagwara or whatever Dagwara.
Yeah. But anyway, very good. The story wrap up, that was also incredible. I found myself at 60% and 70% and 80% and 85% being like, are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? There's still so much happening. How is this going to end? And then it was a nice, pretty.
It's very good.
Bow.
I was worried that it was going to be loopholey, like where we were going to get something like, oh darn it, we can't pick you as our traders or gods because or people that take over us because of yada yada, and it you can't really argue that it's a cop out because it's like something that happens, or like a big thing that happened or whatever. But I was worried that like my brain was like, oh, this is a cop out, but I felt very good. And we had I think we're 6 months at the end of the epilogue, so they have 6 months left when Dusk leaves to go with Starling. So 6 months for them to figure out where they're gonna be galactically before they sell the perpendicularity. Because also, where are they in the timeline? They're after Trask. They're either at the same time as Sunlit or right after, because Hoyd is kind of gone for Sigil and Sunlit, and he's stuck in a vault in Emberdark looking for her uncle, Frost.
Yeah, but I think he was looking for her uncle in the like dragon spiritual realm. I don't think he's in the vault because he was I don't think he was looking for her uncle in the vault. I think he accidentally gets trapped in the vault, but then he is like, you know, all the dragons can meditate and go to this like spiritual realm that they're in, and she's like, why is Hoyd here? Only dragons should be able to come here. Whatever, Hoyd does what he wants. And he's like, I'm trying to find your uncle.
It's funny because in most series, I'd be like, that's such like a cop out saying like, oh, we're not sure why he's here, but he's here, so it is what it is. But because we know so much about Hoyd from some other books, we're like, we have to accept it because eventually we will find out. Like the
Because
information's
it's
there, we
happened
just don't know.
so many times, because we've had so many situations where it's like just Hoyd things. Oh man,
Oopsies.
and his wife and twins.
Yeah.
That
And his
was
wife doesn't remember him.
that was crazy. Crazy drop out of nowhere. I think it's because we're getting really close to the Dragonsteel series, the Hoyd background. I mean, we're starting to see his planet, and we're starting to see.
Yolen.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get all the secret projects give more and more Hoyd snippets. That I think it's because we're starting to get really close to.
I don't know if we'll get Dragonsteel for a while though.
I think it's gonna be after this era, so yeah, it's probably another like 8 years.
Yeah, I'll see when I'm 45. World building and setting. World building was crazy good. Setting, crazy good. I mean, world building, you're gonna get pretty much. I don't want to give an automatic point for Brandon Sanderson, but you pretty much automatic get a point for Brandon Sanderson. Like this is where he thrives, is world building. If you don't believe me, read any of his stuff, but Mistborn or Stormlight. Like the
And we're
world building
in
is insane.
and we're
It
in
might
so
be
deep
lengthy, but it's insane.
that he would have to like severely mess something up to not score a point here, because he spent 2 decades world building the Cosmere, and now it's like just adding on. This book's insane. We're in like gear, make an anime reference for any of our anime fans. We're
Is
in
One
like
Piece?
we're in like the Gear 5 part of One Piece, where it's like now everything that happens is like important and banger and critical to the like plot. Like early Mistborn and early Stormlight was like, we don't know anything about the Cosmere, but now like all the secret projects, it's like we're getting so much real information about like modern day Cosmere. It's insane.
I have, I think, a slight hot take, possibly. I don't know if I'm gonna like modern day Cosmere.
I don't think that's a hot take.
It might not be. Like I said, I don't know if it is. But
I think that the era ones are going to always have a special place.
I just like that everything was like primitive, but not like everyone's figure. Like I love books where people have to figure things out. But like basic stuff, like they're learning, like, oh, I love like magic, it's all basic to them, or like, oh, we're in like a medieval place and they have to like everything's candlelight or whatever. But the second you, and sci-fi has its place for everything's space and everything, but because we started so early on, like in a time period, and now we're modern day, I'm like, these characters seem weird. They're not actually, but I'm afraid for myself.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that
gonna love it, but
the like tinge of medieval like fantasy feel that we get in the early eras is always going to feel special. But because like did you like Mistborn Era 1 or Era 2 more?
one.
Same. I
Era
liked
2 was
2.
good.
It
But
was
they were
cool.
very different vibes.
It was very different vibes. Yeah.
We went from end of world vibes to
I have full
why
faith.
these Londoners in my city stab stab.
I have full faith that he'll pull it off. But yeah, it's really interesting. And it's hard too to see people, things, eras, worlds that we love, that we care about change. Like the Scadrians are assholes, which is tough.
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, every time we've seen them in modern day Cosmere, they are douchebags.
They're dickbags.
Yeah, they're not great. Every time we've seen them as space travelers, they're very greedy. Which, I mean, it'll be
But
interesting
you want to know what though? So are the
Rosharans, I think.
Rosharans, according to this book, that they're both like one of like two of the biggest superpowers that are taking over.
I think they're the quickest. Planets. Yeah, I think they're the like fastest two species to push for space travel and try to start amassing investiture. I don't know why it happens on Roshar. I guess we'll find out. But it seems like at the end of Era 2 that's what Kelsier is like saying. Like we need to get with it. We need to understand investiture and we need to have access to it as quick as possible. Let's do it.
But I don't think he's working with the Malwash. I think this is separate. Either. So where does Kelsier? I was expecting some sort of like Kelsier Thetacar, some sort of something. Where is he?
I don't know.
What's he doing?
We don't know nothing. We're lucky we have what we've gotten. It's hard because I didn't expect us to get so much information out of all these secret projects. But Brandon was like, here's a little crumb for you. Have some cheese.
We got a whole ass cake in this one.
Yeah.
We had a cake. You know how much dragon info we got? insane. We didn't get anything except for a little bit in Stormlight, a little bit in Tress, and then this.
I feel like all the secret projects have given us a ton of information, but this one's given us way more technical information.
I felt
Which
like
is, I think,
I felt like the information we got in this, not that it didn't matter in the other ones, but mattered. Like everything felt
Yeah.
like immediately important in this book, as opposed to far away important.
Yeah, like the spores on Tessa's planet was far away important. Like one day we'll understand why this type of investiture is more important. Investiture is crazy, man. The whole concept of it's wild.
It's basically just fuel.
Invested birds that give a Nile bond.
Yeah, I had to look up the Nile bond because I was like,
It's what the Spren give to the Radiants.
I know, but I didn't know that's what it was called. I do? Yeah.
See, I remember that. You remembered who Crow was.
I think, I think this is a good time to talk about it. All of the different like connections we saw from different books. We had Crow from Tress. We had Zaisis.
I don't know.
Who was
how
a
to
dragon
it.
from Tress.
Yep.
We had obviously the
Huyo?
Malwash from Mistborn 2. Huyo is Lopin's cousin in Stormlight. We had Hoyd. We had Sigzil.
Yolen,
who are the other ones?
The planet Yolen that Hoyd's from.
I mean, they talked about the Shades. They talked about
Shades,
like that whole planet, and also like, did you notice that the entities or whatever of anti-investiture are from the shards dying, and that's what's left? What the heck?
Casual information there.
Yeah, that was nuts. I'm like looking at two screenshots. One of them's not relevant because I figured it out. And look at this other one.
Yeah, let's see.
I took a screenshot of this. I'm going to read it and let me know if you know what I was talking about. It says, quite upsetting that the Skadrians claiming someone else's homeworld, but you know how they are. Rusting this, rusting that. I scowl and throw coins in your face. Don't you literally worship a Skadrian? Nas asked. That's different, Ed said. He's nice. Plus, he's the only living shard who has performed the ... And then it says, story, Ed, please. Birds, magic, birds. Sure. Well, Chris says this place has and then that's the last of the screenshot. But
it's Harmony. Say Zed, don't you worship a Skadrian? He's the only living shard. Yeah, but it says
only living shard who has performed the what? What has he done? Do we know? Also, Chris is from White Sand, which I haven't read yet, but I knew that she was from that. There's so many others too. So many other connections.
The Irali?
Yeah, Irali.
That's crazy. We see them leaving Roshar, right? We see them leaving Roshar in, is it Wind and Truth?
I had a hard time remembering who they were.
See, you missed the good stuff. You're like, I remember who Crow was, but you missed the good stuff.
Like, what is Irali?
They are they're a nomad people that travels to different worlds. They travel through like Shadesmar to different worlds. So we
how are they relevant in Stormlight?
We see them leaving. There's a specific, I think it might be an interlude in Stormlight where we see them like leaving Roshar.
Are they in Secret History that Kelsier meets up with and steals that thing from?
Probably.
Those here, probably. There's so much to remember.
There is.
My brain really hurts.
Let me see.
We also had, while you're doing that, the whatever ship they had in Emberdark had aluminum box and Aeon from Elantris shield, as well as something else shield that like had like triple protection or whatever. I'm like,
I think we see the
3 magic systems there.
I think we see the Iralian Tress too. And so there's speculation that the Irali are called in Wind and Truth by a Spren to leave Roshar. I don't remember when it happens in there, but I think it might be an interlude. We see them getting ready to leave. And so there's speculation that they go to Lumar. So that's their 5th journey. Someone's counting this, not me. I don't know them all. And they go to Tress's world. And so then they just journey around all these. Some invested entity is leading this nomad people around to different worlds. And that's how they get to Dusk's planet. That's one of their journeys. I don't think it's Hoyd. It's not Hoyd. It's like it's a specific kind of I mean, he might be involved with them at some point, but dude, it's crazy. I don't know how we keep up with this, because there's people who are saying there's like references about them. There's a hint in the Lost Metal that they went to Scadrial. Roshar is the 4th land that they lived in. Scadrial is the 5th land that they lived in. Lumar is the 6th land that they lived in.
I have no idea. Like I said, okay, they're traveling people, but what do we care besides they're jumping around? Do they do anything important?
Nothing.
I don't
I don't know.
remember.
I mean, it's the same. It's slightly less. It's obviously not as cool as Hoyd, but it's the same. We see them. We see them in every. We see like mention of them in so many series about where they've all been.
I don't know. I give up. I don't care about them again.
Yeah.
Back.
So, Kusiech, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Cusicesh shows up and tells them that it's time to leave Roshar. That meant time to continue the long trail, time to find the fifth land.
Sure.
Yeah, when does this happen?
While you're looking that up, piecing
Anyway,
a
sorry.
structure for this
We can
book
move
was
on.
just easy. I mean, it was. I
They've
didn't
been moving
ever
the whole time.
like the very first quarter of the book was all things that were happening right now, and then flashbacks from Six of the Dusk, and then we just kept moving forward, and the POV switches were on point. There's really nothing to notes.
I don't even know what to say. Emotional impact. It was good. It was there.
Good emotional impact.
It was great.
I really felt for Dusk.
Yeah.
I really felt for his like trying to fit in a world that's moving beyond him and where he fits in that. And then even after figuring it out, and he's like, I've completed what I needed to do. I'm ready to do something different and do it for me instead. I'm done working for the world. I'm gonna work for me. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry that you've had to go through all this because he was just a trapper.
Yeah, it was tough
on an island, and now he's taming.
And he had a skill set that was like really hard earned. That's like suddenly useless.
Yeah, like underwater basket weaving. Very helpful, but useless.
The real big brains haven't put together a Reddit post yet. That's called Every Emberdark Cosmere Connection. So when they do, maybe we have another discussion. Because I'm not the real big brain, and the real big brains haven't made me a nice list yet.
You can remember who Crow was. You don't get to be big brain.
You didn't remember who the Irali were.
I recognize the name. I was like, who are the... Yeah, but even you can't tell me what their importance is besides just blob around. Well, they're on every planet. They haven't done a single thing except walk.
Crow hasn't done a single thing except lose her ship.
Twice. Listen, Captain Jack Sparrow. Writing style and prose, again, it's kind of a free pass for Brandon.
Would we be reading the 20th Cosmere book if we thought his writing style and prose wasn't good?
Yeah. And I hate to say that in a review. I feel like we should talk about it more, but it's like, it's literally perfect. He teaches classes on it too. Go watch his lectures if you're confused. Oh, his pacing is so bad. Shut up and read his books.
Go back to class.
Go back to class. Go learn you some knowledge.
Go get knowledged.
Yeah, go get knowledge.
Meaningful themes in depth.
Yeah, we did talk about this one. We have plenty of each character. I feel like had their own like theme arc that they went through.
Yeah,
like,
which
we
is
talked
crazy.
about Dusk already. Starling has
Mentioned
to
her.
overcome her. I mean, she's an immortal being who like looks over people lower than her because they're not mortal. Yeah, so she's like they're insignificant. She has to realize she has to slow down her life.
She's not even trying to be rude. She just doesn't know how to relate.
Yeah, everyone's growing, and it's I don't know. Even like Vathi has to be like Dusk is right, like for wanting to preserve these things, but at the same time we have to like this whole book was showing that progression is inevitable, and like things are coming whether you fucking want them to.
All you can do is choose how you embrace it.
Yeah, you can either get rolled over or just because it's gonna happen. Sorry about and that's a big enough theme because people are afraid of change, period.
Yeah.
Some people aren't, but most people are afraid of change, or at least adjusting to change is hard for them, even though they're not afraid of it.
You know what's crazy? How Brandon Sanderson explored colonialism in a few paragraphs, and how RF
you talk about Babel
explored colonialism in a whole book and just said the same thing over and over and over again. Brandon Sanderson just had to write a narrative about people trying to invade a primitive world and take it over and abuse them and drink the resources dry, and didn't have to say over and over again how bad the big colonial man is.
Babel fans, Babel, if you're out there, defend your book. I haven't read it.
I need it to be defended. I need someone on TikTok to do a better job defending it, and I need him to do it in a way that scratches my ADHD brain, because all the defenses I see of it is this book was so good, and I'm just like, I need you to tell me why. I need to understand why someone.
Maybe you should make a post about it and be like, listen, people, Somebody tell me why this book is good. Do it tomorrow.
I'll do it.
put you on it.
I'll make another post about it and be like, since it seems like my other 3 posts about this didn't get enough traction, I'm doing it again. It's a bad book. Tell me why it's good.
Book sucks. Tell me why it doesn't.
Tell me why it's
the
good.
author.
Oof. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. It'd be like that. Rereadability and lasting impact. This is the only category where my brain is like,
You always struggle with this category.
I do. I'm not a rereader. So that's why, like, in my head, I almost want to like change the category because I'm like, rereading doesn't make it less of a good book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe we should change how this category scores.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it a lot. Because I would reread this book because the themes were great. I really like the story, and it's one of those books where I feel like I missed important stuff. I'm gonna have to go back.
Maybe we
eventually.
should.
And I would reread the whole Cosmere, like
same.
So, like, I
mean,
would
I already
reread
have.
it. And obviously, it's got some lasting impact in terms of it was just so cool the way this story was told, and I loved our main character.
Yeah, maybe we should change this category where either rereadability or lasting impact can both be a full point. Either or. Like either one could score a full point.
Let's talk about it because maybe we could put something else completely different in there, and then just
That's
give this like
a bonus.
We talk about it, but it doesn't necessarily get a point.
Could go in with book cover judgment.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I gave it a point here. It was fun. I'd read it again. Especially these. Man, if I need some good, juicy Cosmere in my life and I'm not feeling like reading Mistborn or Stormlight again from the beginning for the 3rd time, I could pick up this book and read it again, or Tress, or Yumi.
It's nice because they're not a trilogy. Like, I love a trilogy. I think a trilogy is the perfect amount for a series. You can tell a whole story, like, flushed out beautifully with that. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's perfect. But sometimes I just want one. Put me in, take me out.
Yep.
Period.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I could read it again, because it's just a nice little chunk of Cosmere. We get all of the things that make up a good Cosmere book in a nice little pretty package.
So far, I think out of the secret projects, though, I would read Tress before I would reread anything else.
Yeah, Tress was more charming, had more of that like special magic that made it like not special magic systems. Special magic is in it was like a charming book. Like
yeah, I felt like it was the most different of his like works that it stood out the most to me, like the writing style. So it was very good.
It was a pretty okay book.
It's pretty okay. So RSQ recommended, obviously. We're going to recommend this. You're not going to find, at least to my knowledge, a Brandon Sanderson book we don't recommend. But I will say a caveat with this. I would recommend this after you've read all of his other Cosmere stuff. But you could get away with it, but you for sure have to read, I think, you have to have read, like, the main stuff, but you have to have read Mistborn Era 2, and you have to have read Tress.
I'm going to disagree with you and apply some caveats to your caveats. All the secret projects are intended to be able to be read as standalone books, so you could, but I think for maximum enjoyment, if you will be reading the rest of the Cosmere, then you should read this last.
Yeah, but
if you haven't read any Sanderson, you could just read this for the story, which is he's wrote all the secret projects to be that way.
Yeah, but I feel like this one would be confusing. You'd be like, I don't understand what these people are or do, because some stuff's like not really explained. All the planet names and the.
That's true. It's true. It could be a good hook though. It could hook you into the Cosmere. It could be a hooker.
Hooker?
Hardly know her.
Maybe.
Anyways, what are we rating this one?
We give it a point in every category. So this is a 10.
Is it an 11?
Do you feel it's an 11?
I think it's an 11, but I feel like for an 11 we have to both agree on it. I would say.
I would say it's both agree on it. I'm trying to decide because I really enjoyed the book, but for you to have so much outside knowledge, like I had it, so I guess this is just a subjective one. So I give it 11 out of 10 personally. I guess. Yeah. Then, yeah, it's 11 out of 10.
I mean, I think we give it an RSQ 11 out of 10. But I could understand how someone else. I don't know. I loved it. I enjoyed it.
You know
It was
what?
really
You know
good.
what? People who don't like this book are gonna say, "I can't believe that I have to read
All the
23 books before I can enjoy this one book." That's the point. This is for people who like
You're
that.
telling me that I have to read 30 books to enjoy this book? His prose is just so in your face.
You're gonna just he's gonna explain everything really well, and I have to read all the explanations of things that I'm wondering about in other books and don't get. Why would you give me everything I'm asking for? What
Basically,
douche.
you've basically nailed it on the head.
And like I do understand why people wouldn't like him, because like I do get not wanting to have to read 24 books to understand
I mean, I understand wanting to be wrong.
but also like if you just wanted to read Mistborn or just wanted to read Stormlight and stop, I could see that too. If you don't like the pacing of Stormlight, I could see that. But the pacing isn't necessarily bad. You just don't like the structure of that book. It's meant to be like that. It's meant to be to discuss everything. If you don't want to discuss everything, again, the book isn't bad. You just don't like it.
It's just not for you. I think
Not for you.
I think objectively, it's not written poorly. It just, the way that it moves is just not for you.
Unless you're Winning Truth.
And then objectively, it is written too long.
I think that book was too long. I didn't really think any of it. I thought they like at some parts. I'm like, okay, we're getting a lot of information. I felt like this was unnecessarily too long. We can talk about this in another video, but
we get to film hours of content on the Cosmere,
right? So did we get it? Is this our third?
Yeah,
RSQ 11 out of 10.
Dark Matter. Dark Matter. Look at that, top of the dome. We recently gave one. Yeah, Bloodsworn.
And this one.
Yep.
That's 3 books out of, what have we read, 40 something this year?
I'm at my Goodreads says I'm at like 61.
I have to look at mine because Goodreads, if you mark it red on Goodreads, but you finished it on like your phone app or whatever, sometimes it counts that. So like I had to go back and it's got like double the same. But also you've definitely read more books than me this year.
My Kindle app's not linked to my Goodreads, so everything that I mark as read on Goodreads is accurate. Yeah, I mean, I read like all 12 books of the Cradle series. What were we even, this is a total side tangent, I'll have to cut this. What were we doing that I had time to read 12 books? What were we supposed to be reading? What, did we not start? I don't think we had started yet. We hadn't started because this was like January. It was like, no, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl in January. Maybe I read Cradle in February. When did we start? We started in April.
Violet was born in December. So like I wasn't back to work until beginning of February, and I was like tired of shit. I wasn't reading anything or doing anything.
Yeah, I don't think we started doing RSQ yet. I think
RSQ started in like, was it end of March?
I feel like it's been going all year. Yeah, I know it hasn't, and we've had this conversation like 2 or 3 times now, but it feels like it's been a 2025 thing. Like, RSQ's been going since January, but that's not the case. But anyways, I had an easy boost to my TBR numbers this year because of Cradle. There's like 13 books because of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I'm going through Dungeon Crawler Carl right now.
Anyways, we should end this video.
Why?
We could just keep going.
I like talking to our people.
I didn't say we have to stop talking to people.
You hate our followers, actually.
I love our followers.
How do we find out when we started this channel?
We look at our first video.
Does it say like our lifespan? Does anybody know? Can you comment real quick? This isn't live, so this is gonna be too late.
Yeah, by the time you figure it out, we'll have found it. But you should still comment and tell us how to find it.
Account.
I'm looking. I'm paging down. I'm almost there. I am.
Are you almost there?
I'm at our first video.
Huh?
227.
227?
227. Yeah. Actually. Our first comment on our first video is Tyler, and he said, "I made it, Mom."
Damn.
Our second comment, Serena. Our third comment, Haley. The OG fans.
Yeah. And now look,
quality was bad.
1,300 on TikTok and 1,350 on Instagram. Look at us go.
Yeah.
We're growing. How many of you fellow people are out there on YouTube?
Yeah. Give us some YouTube love. This is a good one for YouTube because we talked a lot about a lot of good stuff.
We're talking to them right now on YouTube.
You're right. I mean, when we post the TikTok one, we're going to have to say, check out the YouTube video because we talk about a lot of the goods.
We talk about the good stuff. We have 37 subscribers. Wow. That was incredible. What I thought. We have 4 notifications.
On YouTube?
Let us go.
Yes. Yeah, someone should check that.
He said, Dakota sucks. He is not entertaining. I want to kiss him on the mouth. The last part was me. Anyway,
11 out of 10. We recommend this book. It's amazing.
Banger,
Read
banger,
more
banger, banger.
Brandon Sanderson. Curtis, what are we reading next?
We are going to be reading. I'm finishing up on Arc Read, my very first Arc Read. But after that, Dakota and I are joint buddy reading Togetherness. Pathlighter is what we're going to be reading. And Dakota's grabbing it. He's taking his time. Pathlighter is going to be the next one to read by Rob Leigh. An indie book. I believe he actually sent Dakota this one. But signed. Very excited to jump into this one. Did put it on our wheel, and then we decided we're gonna do for a little bit indie book, and then wheel spin, and indie book, then wheel spin, probably 2 or 3 times. And we are just gonna pick ones because we've had some very generous authors send us their books, and we're like, you know what? We need to read these. We're gonna read them, and so we're gonna do that. Do I have Pathlighter? I do.
You do. You bought it. You asked him where to buy it from, and he sent you a local bookstore that you supported.
Yeah, because every book that you buy there.
But don't worry, you remembered Crow, and I didn't.
Mods ban him. Anyway, so after I finish my Arc Read, and after Dakota finishes the book that he's on, we're going to be buddy reading Pathlighter by Rob Leigh, which we're very excited for. So check out that one there, and that's what to look forward to. Another fun indie read, which apparently is our shtick now. We got put in the shtick. We put ourselves here, and I'm enjoying our time. Actually, I'm really
stumbled into the hole that is indie. We fell down the indie rabbit hole, and it's great. We fell into indie wonderland. Honestly,
though, we've read some really good ones. We've read some not so good ones, but the not so good ones have made me appreciate other ones.
Yeah, it's nice. The indie spectrum's nice to see. There's so much for variability that it's different than, like, I read a Sanderson book. It's an 11 out of 10 because I love everything Sanderson writes. But when it's like, I think when we're reading an indie book, it makes you appreciate like indie books that are really, really, really well done, because you're like, whoa, this has like way less production value. Is that what I'm looking for? Way less money spent on, not value. It has way less production lift, way less overhead. Like they're putting way less money into like advertising and like.
Yeah, it's passion project versus like you have a talent for writing type thing. Like some people are writing because they have a passion for a story, and some people are writing a story because they have a passion for writing. And I feel like you can really tell what the difference is in these indie books. And I think it's fun to find out what's what and what's not.
I agree.
And we get to promote some cool books.
I agree.
So much agreeing.
Indie Wonderland is great. And we're happy to be here.
We're so happy to be here that we're ending here right now, and this video is done. Oh, thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you in the next one.
RSQ out.
Goodbye. RSQ out. Deuces.
Go read your books.
Go read your books. Your TBR is waiting.